Because of Batman's popularity, he's often used by DC as a testing grounds for new and wacky ideas. And this comic is no exception. Batman 3D. See? It is. Pixels. This is a reprinting of a 1966 comic, which was also in 3D, as well as a new original 3D comic. And I know what you're thinking. No, it's not a pop-up book. It's the weird 3D. It's this 3D. You know, cinema. In your hand. Considering what these people had to work with in the 60s and even the 90s, doing computer graphics to offset these images with the different tones was actually probably pretty complicated. So considering they pulled this off at all is really interesting. But of course the most standout feature of this comic is boom at the back. Batman's 3D glasses. These are styling. Now we could sit here all day and talk about how interesting this comic is or how beautiful the glasses are, or how cool this is as a collector's value, but I think the real appeal comes from actually reading it with the 3D glasses. Now, unfortunately, I can't really show that to you on a single lens camera, but I can do it myself and try to report as honestly as I can about how it actually comes through. Also, it is interesting how they choose when to have something 3D or not. They normally opt for all of the text to be void of that weird offset effect, but sometimes they leave it and also apply it to the text, which I find isn't interesting. Maybe they're trying to emphasize, exactly what this person's saying. It's another ability that you have when it's 3D like this, and it is a black and white comic, so you lose that ability to add red text when something's very serious or yelled. But you gain the ability to offset with those magenta and green colors. I think it's really cool that they did seem to play around with it a good bit to try to make it seem more worthwhile than just some kind of gimmick. So I think it was actually executed pretty well. The story is fine. You can find reviews on it online. That's not really the appeal, and I think they knew that. It's fine. The art is also, it's pretty solid, but the reason why you're here is because it looks kind of crazy. It looks like the printer just messed up and they said ship it regardless. Okay, let's destroy this piece of history. Not really. These are relatively easy to find online. I found it in store at a used shop. It was literally, I think, not even $6. So nothing to be concerned about. I think, we're going out to complete its purpose as a product. I do think that it should be seen through to the end, especially with something as iconic as Batman should pop out. It is perforated. Oh, little tear there. I'm sure the integrity is totally fine. I do want to do this as cleanly as I can. I don't actually want to destroy any of my property that I have. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, and that should do it. Batman. I do notice there is this kind of bending on the nose, so it's ergonomic. Should just be able to slide these right in. These are bat glasses for sure. Batman's glasses. Oh yeah, I forgot how bad these things screw with your vision. Wow. Let's just jump right into it. Let's see. A Batman 3D. Enjoy it how it's supposed to be enjoyed. Oh my god, that works. That works incredibly well. It doesn't have any kind of effect when you move left or right. But Penguin is visibly jumping off the page to me. Wow, there's a separation very clearly. Man, I was skeptical. This actually works very well. And of course, since my eyes are filtered through red and blue, it kills all other color going through those respective eyes. So it ends up leaving only that black on the page, that black ink. You could see a little bit of ghosting, just a little bit, on her chin there. Maybe that line's on that suit to the wall, but man, it actually works. I am shocked. Wow, this is I'm glad I did that. Yeah, no, this was 100% worth it. Hot dog. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna go to the park and be the coolest chap there. But without spoiling anything about the actual comic, that's Batman 3D. It actually works. It's pretty cheap online right now. You can get it for under $10. And don't tell your friends, that'll drive up the price. But Batman 3D is a success. Pretty solid overall. I think if you can get this and a pair, it doesn't matter what pair of 3D glasses, just any pair of 3D glasses, I think it's worth it. This is actually really cool. Let me know what y'all think about this comic. If you've tried to read a comic in 3D before, that's pretty unique. And if there's any other comics that did this, this is the only one I've ever seen. This is like a collection of 2 Batman comics. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you.